I wanted to take a few minutes from my study. This morning, I have been studying and reading. Um, I'm actually taking some classes to get a certification on neuroscience and mindfulness, which I think is amazing. There's absolutely no way you can look at the brain and not realize that there was an intelligent, compassionate, creative entity, who I will call Elohim, because that is who he is to me, that made us, that made our minds. And in the work that I'm beginning to do with mental health, sharing my own story of recovery, and how I got to the place that I am right now of not just living, but thriving, right? Because it's not enough just to live. You don't want to be walking dead. You want to thrive. Um, Dr. David Malapa, who I've met over here, says, if you're not growing, you're dying. And that is so true. So many people are just existing. But anyways, that's not why we came. I came because during this time of year, many faith systems choose these few days of introspection, right? And as I have been thinking about introspection in conjunction with mental health strategies, neuroscience, mindfulness, I've been speaking to Jehovah and asking him, where where does all of that fall in line with your word? Where does that all fall in line with this beautiful textbook that we have? I think the Bible is one of the greatest textbooks on the earth. In fact, I would say it's the best anthology ever written. And the stories that the people have written of their lives, of their experiences. Sometimes I don't like using stories because maybe we think they're make believe, but I believe them to be authentic. And when you see how they walked through this earth, obeying laws that the Creator gave them and disobeying, we see love and marriage and war and restoration and joy and lots of teaching, things that we can definitely learn from. And when I talk in my testimony about being healed from dissociative identity disorder, I talk about how it is that I was able to walk through that. And in my study with neuroscience and mindfulness now, I am beginning to see that I was doing things that science had already been talking about, but I never studied. And I saw the connection because I was able to walk through it with Jehovah and then come and see science say, well, you do this and you do this and you do that. And I'm like, wow, that's what I did. I just didn't know that's what science was calling it, or mindfulness was calling it. So anyways, I digress. Introspection. So I was asking the Father, where is introspection in your textbook? And it came to Haggai. So I thought it was amazing. I just want to share with you Haggai, the first chapter. So let me open up my phone and I want to read to you. So in Haggai, Haggai is a prophet, and the Lord comes to him and he gives him some instructions. He wants you to say to the people, the time has not come, the time that the Lord's house should be built. And he asked them to consider your ways. Now, he didn't just say that one time, he said it 2 or 3 times, to consider your ways. And isn't that what we do with introspection? Isn't that how we think that introspection should be done? But what I saw as I asked, and as I watched Jehovah display this to me in Haggai chapter 1, is that he called them to introspection. He told them what they had done wrong. They saw what they had done wrong. They acknowledged it. He gave them a plan on how to fix it. But I love this sentence here. Okay. So in Haggai 1, Verse 13. Then spake Haggai, the Lord's messenger, in the Lord's message unto the people, saying, I am with you, saith the Lord. How wonderful to know that when we go into introspection in a way that's led by the Creator, because honestly, especially people with severe mental health disabilities, or even people with depression, bipolar, even if you're dissatisfied with your life and you're not going to say that you have a mental health struggle per se, you're going to realize that that can be a dangerous spot to go into into introspection, just looking at yourself without a plan, without guidelines, without instruction. And so I want to encourage you during this time of introspection, of self-awareness, that you have a plan. You wait until you're led. And when you walk through, not to stick in a place to berate yourself, but that you see the things that have been done wrong. You then write them down. You write down a solution. You know that your Creator is with you. And then what's the fascinating thing at the end of this chapter is that they were able to rebuild and restore in record time. And that's how it works with Jehovah. He comes in, he gives you a plan, tells you what to do, tells you what's wrong. You acknowledge it. He acknowledges he's with you. And then you restore and get it done in record time. So I encourage you during this time, if you are doing introspection, if you are doing moments of self-awareness, that you remember that there should be a strategy and a plan when you go into it. Don't just ramble in and stay stuck looking at yourself. Know that there's a textbook. Go to Haggai chapter 1 and read that and be encouraged. Let it speak to you on the way to do introspection, on the way to know that you're Jehovah. He is with you, and watch restoration happen in your life in record time. Shalom.